review with Life of Chelsea for Beyond the Gates, August 6, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to write these notes down. Okay, look. I said Haley full of freaking crap. She full of freaking crap. When she got up to go to that bathroom, I said, y'all better follow her. Now, I had already seen the promo or whatever when they showed her. She had on the same white shirt like I was telling y'all, and she was bleeding or whatever. But I said, it's a lot wrong with this whole little storyline, and I feel like the walls are closing in on her. I definitely feel like the walls are closing in on her. I said, your lies catching up to you, sweetheart. Your lies catching up to you, because Ashley know that you lying at least about a part of it. Naomi may or may not be about to know, because I don't think she could say nothing, can she? I think, what's it called? HIPAA? She can't say nothing, can she? I mean, she can. They ain't never stopped nobody before, but... and it's something else. Now, at first, when Naomi was looking at the ultrasound, she was looking at it, and I was like, is she figuring it out? Is she figuring out something's off about this ultrasound? I don't know. I want to know who she was on the phone with. Do y'all think it was that doctor? But yeah, hold on. Let me see if I wrote down all the notes. Hold on, y'all. But yeah, like I said, first thing first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. We're going to start with Pamela, Danny, and what's the girl name? Haley came later. So with Pamela and Danny, she wanted to talk about Andre, and she felt some type of way. Now, yesterday, what she said, she said she didn't care what he did, if he wanted to be with Ashley and all this other stuff. Today's episode, she ends up questioning Pamela, asking her how much she knows about Ashley. I said, wouldn't you know more about her? I said, if that's your daughter's best friend, wouldn't you know more? But yeah, she asked Pamela how much she knows about Ashley. That's when she got to talking about Andre and her, about how Ashley is interested in Andre and vice versa. I said she seemed a little jealous to me. I said she seemed jealous. I think she's jealous. She's talking about somehow Ashley can't have Andre or whatever he has. She put in too much work. I said, well, he gone, sweetheart. Even before they showed the scene, I said, well, he gone, sweetheart. You done lost him. You missed your opportunity. Now, I keep saying how a lot of us been saying from the jump how he was interested in her and vice versa. She was just over here acting like she didn't have feelings for him and all this other stuff. But yeah, I was like, well, he been interested in her. But yeah, he was about to go head over there to find Danny and end things. I said, because she asked you. She repeatedly asked you how you feel about Ashley, and you lied like it wasn't nothing. But yeah, I'm going to go down the notes, and then we're going to talk about it. The main thing I really want to talk about is Haley. The main thing I want to talk about her. But, yeah, Danny asked Pamela how much she knows about Ashley. Andre and Enzo stopped by to see Ashley. Haley was on the phone with somebody, and she was like, she need help. I said, she must got some fake blood or some real blood. Who knows at this point? She must was on the phone with that doctor lady. That's why she stopped before she came there. She had to go in the bathroom and put some blood or some dye or something on her. I said, ain't no way she believes for real. She ain't pregnant. I don't believe she's pregnant. I don't know. She too worried that Bill's gonna find out. She definitely not pregnant. I said, where she get the doggone blood from? Where did she get it from? But yeah, we're gonna get to that part. Cause I said, it's a lot wrong with this scenario. A whole lot. A spite. In spite of everything we know so far, it's some more red flags going on. I said, Haley, the walls are closing in, girl. But yeah, she was on the phone with somebody and she was like, she need help or whatever, but they never revealed who it was. But I think somebody gonna figure out her plans or whatever, or Ashley already figuring out. Naomi ends up stopping by and asked Bill, has he murdered anybody lately? Excuse me. Caroline ends up walking in on Haley on the phone, and she was saying how, what did she say when she was on the phone? We need to keep things between us or whatever. She gonna say so she planning to be a birthday party. I was like, Caroline. And she a good actress, though, the way she came out the bathroom and she can be screaming and stuff. The tears rolling down her face, that mascara or whatever. I was like, you know what, girl? You full of crap, but you how do I say it? How do I say it? The way she doing the scene or whatever, I was like, yeah, I like the way she did that right there, but you finna get caught. Hold on. Yeah, wait, let me see where I stop it. Haley heard Haley. Caroline heard Haley on the phone, said that they need to keep things between them. Danny says that Ashley is interested in Andre. She was talking to Pamela, y'all. Ashley ends up telling Andre she doesn't think that they should see each other anymore, and he felt some type of way. He wanted to know why. Where is this coming from? She was like, she afraid of getting hurt, and that's when she revealed what her mama said and stuff like that. And he was excited that she actually talked to her mama about him. But yeah, Danny ends up saying Ashley can't have this one. She hates sharing and all that. I said, baby, he gone. I said, he gone, girl. He gone. He's gone. He out of there. But yeah, what else? Bill ends up asking Naomi if she's going to cut the rest of the family out as well, or just him or whatever, because, she was upset about the whole Martin situation and the fact that he may or may not have murdered somebody. Let's see what else. Haley ends up lying like she's planning a birthday party for Bill. Then I said she know how to switch it up too. She gonna tell Caroline or whatever, talking about some, and I forgive you for what happened earlier. Then Caroline was like, yeah, I feel really bad about it, and basically she been kicking herself about it or whatever. I said, but she ain't kicking herself. She ain't went to the doggone hospital. That's the first thing. That's the first red flag. If you don't feel on your stomach and you whether you early or late in your pregnancy or whatever, you would want to go check on your baby, right? She told me to know or whatever. Then if she was in the bathroom bleeding and stuff, wouldn't she be screaming or something? I said, girl, she putting on a show. She's putting on a show. But I want to know why. Is it for that $10 million or what? But yeah, let me see what else. Let's see. Or said Haley lied like she was planning a birthday party for Bill. And that's when Caroline was like, she'll do it for her and stuff like that. She started talking about so she forgive her for earlier and everything. And I was like, girl, she lying. She lying to you. Shanice was on the phone gossiping already, but she hasn't mentioned seeing Danny and Andre kiss. And she was back there. I know she's seen it. I think she was just talking about Leslie showing up. Let me see what else. Derek ended up coming by, and Shanice ends up telling Derek that they just friends or whatever. That's as far as it goes because, she worked with Ashley. And she don't want to make things awkward or whatever. And he apologized for using her to make Ashley jealous or whatever. And I said, they seem like they finna get ready to try to put them together. But I think I would have preferred her, I don't know, be with Andre. I don't know about that. I don't know yet. We'll see how this goes. But give it time because they all switch partners eventually. If you watch soap operas, you know. One day, Shanice over here in Derek's face. The next day, she with Andre. Then the next day, they got her over here with Bill. That's what the soap operas do, y'all. Excuse me. Naomi ends up looking at the ultrasound. She was looking at it. Y'all not be paying attention to people's face. So I'm assuming when she sees something's off, she looked at the back of it and everything. I'm assuming she sees something's off with the ultrasound. She ain't say nothing. She was just telling Bill how, despite everything that's going on, she would never mistreat the baby or whatever because the child's innocent and she'll be there for the child or whatever. Let me see what else. Let's see. Danny tells Pamela she may still have feelings for Bill, and that's when Haley popped up. And I said, here they go, back and forth. But Haley tells Danny nothing would tear her and Bill apart. They start going back and forth. I said, you know what? I said, it kind of seemed like Haley was doing all the talking. She finna get ready to tell Bill, Danny did this, she upset me, she did that. I said, why you always in her face? Now, I know she did mention your name or whatever. And she was talking about you a gold. I mean, you is. This what it looked like anyways. She was talking about you. So, of course, anybody that hear that name gonna want to know what's going on. So, they start going back and forth, stuff like that. Next thing you know, she started acting like she got pains or whatever. And she ran to the bathroom. I said, y'all better get up and follow her. She ran to the bathroom. I said, y'all better get up and follow her. She gonna come out of there. She gonna go do something. Nobody got up. Pamela had said something to Danny about, should I go check on her? She's like, no, or whatever, basically saying she putting on the show. And I said, no, you told her wrong. Then she left. She could lie again. Bill gonna believe her. So Pamela said something about she had a meeting. She ends up leaving or whatever. And that's next thing you know, she come out the bathroom talking about, so help my baby, something's wrong with my baby or whatever, and blood on her hands or whatever, look like it's on her shirt or whatever. I said, you full of crap, you. I said, girl, you full of baloney. I said, doggone well. I said, she must got some fake blood from that doctor lady. If she a real doctor, well, if she is, if she ain't, she still got some fake blood, some dye, something. She done came out the bathroom. I said, she had it in her purse. Well, no. Because then they show her purse sitting right there. And if I'm not mistaken, Bill was calling her or whatever, leaving her voicemail saying something about the car service. I think he was just telling her he hasn't left yet. I don't know. But I was like, she must have it up her sleeve or something. No, I think she obviously faking. She gotta be faking. I don't know, y'all. We finna find out soon enough, though. But I said, either way it go, can't they still tell that she faking? So if she ends up having a miscarriage, can't they still tell? If I'm not mistaken, can't they? I mean, regardless, Ashley knows that something's off. Now, will she say anything? I don't know because of the whole HIPAA situation. She not technically allowed to say anything. But once again, this is a soap opera, and they don't be caring regardless. But yeah, I was like, girl, either way it go, if you was having a miscarriage, they still could tell. They still supposed to be able to tell that you having a miscarriage. I said, she full of freaking crap. I guess she'll get somebody to say that next, that she did have a miscarriage and actually show it or whatever. And Bill was just sitting up there excited, talking to Naomi about the baby and about them when they was little and stuff like that. I said, Bill, you being played. I said, why he ain't got no cameras? Nobody had no doggone cameras on these shows or whatever. But yeah, what else? Let's see. I already said that about Haley. Shanice said she too good to play games or whatever. That's what her and Derek was talking about. Andre ends up asking Ashley what she thinks or whatever. So that's when she started expressing how she feels to him. I said, here they go. I said, here they go. She started moving closer to him. He started moving closer to her. Next thing you know, they kiss. I said, they finna do it. I said, they finna do it. Hold on. But then they pulled back. They pulled back. Why did they pull back? I can't remember why they pulled back, y'all. But either way go, they was kissing and they stopped. And that's when he was like, he finna get ready to go or whatever. Because she was asking about what he had going on with the lady or whatever. And he was like, she's not ready or she doesn't want what he wants. He was basically saying Danny don't want what he wants or whatever. So, you know, he got to go where he want to be. And he wants something serious. I said that all the way wrong. I said that all the way wrong. He basically said he wants something real or whatever. He want Ashley. He basically was telling her he want her, but even if it doesn't work out between them, he still wants something serious. So he was headed to go tell her. She was like, where you going? You about to go end things? She was like, I haven't even made up my mind about what I want or not. He was like, regardless, I know I want something serious or whatever. I said, Danny, you lost her, girl. You lost her. But yeah, she stopped him or whatever, and that's when I forgot what he said. I think he was like he about to go or whatever. And then I think he texted Danny. If I'm not mistaken, he texted her. He ran into Derek or whatever, and Derek said he didn't waste no time moving in on his girl. They just broke up. I said, true that? I said, well, technically, he been trying to get her before y'all broke up, but you know. Hold on. Let me see what else. Oh, he was when they was talking and stuff. I said, what's going on here? He started getting in the, he started getting turned on or something or whatever. The way they was looking at each other and stuff. How do y'all feel about them? I know a lot of people been saying how they don't want Andre and Ashley together. I said, let me give it time. Let me give it time. We're gonna see. But yeah, he was like, what if Ashley is his safe place or whatever? And that's when they kiss. That's when they end up kissing or whatever. He ends up saying how he wants something that would last. He finna get ready to end things with Danny. She still don't know that it's Danny, but I'm assuming she finna find out. Shanice says that she wants more. Derek ends up telling her how he likes spending time with her, so we'll see where that goes. What else? What else? Naomi tells Ashley that Haley tripped and they going to get an ultrasound. And Ashley was like, another ultrasound? And Naomi saw her face and she was like, what is it? What are you not telling me about my dad and Haley's baby? And she thought about what the nurse lady said to her, and I said, I don't think she gonna tell. She might hint at it. I don't know. We'll see. Cause if I'm not mistaken, ain't that HIPAA? If she decides to tell her, ain't that HIPAA? But yeah, let's see. Naomi knows something wrong. Haley and Danny go back and forth. Haley has fake pain. She runs to the bathroom. And I said follow her. We already talked about that. Shanice tells Derek to tie up loose ends before he tries to get anything else started. Haley came out the restroom, bleeding and crying, said something's wrong with her baby. She's supposed to be telling Danny to stay back. You done enough. And I was like, she keeps saying that. I said, Bill, at one point or another, you supposed to be able to tell that this lady is lying like it ain't nothing. The fact that she waited so long to give you that ultrasound. Then she fell on her stomach. Let me find my notes because I just wrote it. Let me see. I said it's a whole lot of red flags over here. I said she done fell on her stomach. She didn't want to go to the doggone doctor or whatever. Then she bleeding and stuff, but she waited till she came out in front of people and stuff to start hollering and stuff, talking about something. She bleeding, something wrong with the baby. That's what she said. Something's wrong with her baby and all this other stuff. Putting on the show. I said she done ran in there, splashed some water on her face to make her mascara run, and she got fake blood or real blood. I don't know. I don't know at this point. But yeah, I was like, she full of freaking crap. I said they should have followed her. They should have followed her. Well, it's too little too late now. I said she finna get ready to blame Bill. Not Bill. She finna get ready to blame Danny. And Bill finna be mad at Danny again. But the walls are closing in on her. Her lies finna get ready to catch up to her. But yeah, that's it. That's all. What time is it, y'all? It is 6:15. Okay, that's it. That's all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day and be safe.